Let's learn that. The weaving method out of 26 English letters. Okay, so here's a random color line. I'm going to show you. You can take a look at it first. This is the part we agreed on. If you need a concave shape like this, have a twisto in there. And this part down here has a twister. Like the one above, this bar in the middle. You can just fill it directly. Good, because it's the same stitch and the same number of stitches. Do this one by one. Let me show you one of them. Let's see, that's the number of stitches. Stitch knitting. Okay, we need a loop stitch. Then we get the thread, the index finger of the left. Let's go around twice. Then press the coil with your right hand and back it down. Left hand holding thread. Put the way you hold the thread. We use this wire. It's the hook of the line, the little finger and the ring finger. Place it over your index finger in the direction of your palm. Hold the joint with your middle finger and thumb. Crochet with the thick end. Then insert the needle. Right through this big coil. And then pull this thread out of the back. When we were inserting the needle, sure you don't break just like before. Don't plug it into the whole big hole in the middle of this coil. Insert the needle to bring out the thread. Then take a look. Wind it. We crochet heads out of the coil. First hook a braid pin to secure. Okay, what's next? In this big coil, hook 6 short needles. Let's look at the hook of the short needle first. The crochet needle is inserted directly into the large coil. Crochet down. Take a look. Down. Take this thread out. Then crochet. Find the crochet head. Take this thread. Pull the wire out of the 2 coils. So we've got a short hook. On the crochet, but the line should be the braid pin. Look at it from the side. Shape braid needle. That's where our first short pin is. We take the mark and don't buckle it. On this braid pin, penetrate. Run 2 wires from top to bottom. Up and don't snap it up. This is where our first needle will be. Pull it at the end of the lap. We all use the cross stitch method in this subject. So when we hook the short needle, we always insert the needle. Just push down on the wire. With the ordinary pull of this short needle. It's just that the approach is different. Insert the needle. Then crochet down to bring the thread out. Then wind the wire. Thread 2 coils at once. Okay, this is the second short needle, 6 short stitches all together. Then continue to insert the needle. And press down to pull out the thread. Then wind the wire. Bring the wire out of the 2 coils. 3 continue to insert the needle. And press down to pull out the thread. Then wind the wire out of both coils at once. For needles. Lunch. A surname. After the 6th stitch. Let's get another sign. A sponding braid pin above the 6th pin. Make a mark for it too. Newbie suggests you follow my steps on the 1st and 6th stitches. So we're going to do each turn. They're all 6 shots. We mark it after the 1st stitch. It's because we're pulling all the way around here. Last stitch after the hook. I marked it to tell everyone. We got this far and it's the last stitch. After this one, don't have to hook it, just insert and pull the first needle. So we can stretch the thread. Let's take this big coil in the middle. Take a look at the short end of the needle, the middle of 2 coils. We pull the bottom one. Lift it up from the left. Push it a little harder. Until I can't pull it. And then we're gonna pull this short end for him. Pull in the thread that you just pulled out. So we've got a circle. What about this time? Crochet, hook and pull the thread tight. We insert and draw the first needle. Push the needle down to bring out the thread. Then pull it up and down, straight through the back coil. And then we're done. Stitches on the first lap. All the turns are up. 6 stitches first turn, round with 6 pins, but the exact number of turns. To see the corresponding, the number of circles is different for each letter. Some need to hook that up. Like this up. Hooked up a long piece of paper, another hook. This one in the middle. Just glue it on both ends. Okay, second circle we crochet. Hook a braid. Ending pin is the hook for a braid. Then insert the needle in the first stitch. Point, you can take off the mark. Do you know where the first shot is? Then take off the mark. Insert the needle in the first stitch. Then press down to bring the thread out. Thread out at one time by wind the first short stitch. And after that, make a mark. Okay, put the needle in the second needle, down and pull the wire out. Hook a short needle. Hook a short needle into the third stitch. In every turn, a hook in every stitch. This is what you're seeing right now. So the side that's facing up is always, so when we were hooking up, to get the front out of him. On the back, I want him to recessed. Alright, take off the mark with the last stitch. The last needle in the needle. Press the wire down and pull it out. Then hook a short needle. And after that, you can put a mark on it again. That should finish our second lap. And then go straight to the first needle. This will be better than the second round. Hole in the middle is where the seam will be bigger. We're gonna make it a little tighter. The needle is not easy to insert if the hook is tight. Then you can slow down. You can also leave this mark off if know where the first needle is. Just leave the mark on. And then you put a needle in here. Bring the thread out. Then pull it tight up and down. Pull it up like this. Tape it directly to the back coil. The second lap is done. Third loop of braid standing pin. 1 stitch in the first. And then mark it. Resume. 2 kinds of needles. 3 kinds of needles. 4 kinds of needles. 5 stitches ready. Then the 6th needle takes off the mark. 6 stitches and then hang it on. If a novice can't tell the needle count, it's to follow this method. If you have experience in preparation, can distinguish clearly the mark and can do without, then you can put the first needle in here. You don't have to cut this thread. When the time comes, wrap that in it. Just fill in this string, because you wouldn't need a twister. On the inside, if we fill it, we're going to be the one with the needle. Pull this thread and fill it in until the end. When we cut the cord at the end, leave a little bit of string in there, too. Just fill it with wool. Okay, here's the thing. Each turn with the standing pin. Pull the needle at the end of each turn. That's how it works. You can do it yourself. Each turn begins with a braid standing pin, position of the first stitch. It's in the hole at the bottom of the standing pin, right next to the bottom, with the first needle in this hole. Alright, the rest is for everyone to do. I'm not even going to do it here. And then you look at each other. Which letter you checked? Then the number of turns corresponds to a specific number of turns on the drawing. Okay, so the F is 15 turns on the drawing. 15 times, one of these vertical bars. Then we can disconnect. What about when we lose the line? With just a little longer on the head. Let's sew him up this mouth. Because if we go to that reducer, 6 if it's a merger, it's not easy to do. We'll just close him up. Stretch out the thread. Then disconnect. Line withdrawal. So I can get my hands to sew. Need to add a twister before we sew, because this is what we're going to sculpt. Then take out the twister stick. Like this we give it to sticks together. Twist the two together. And when you're done, let's compare the lengths. How long will it take? And then when you get to this length, just take the scissors and cut it off. Alright, let's put the twister in. You can plug it a little slow, because that's all there is to it. That one is pointy, and it hangs easily. Like this is the point of the head. You can give him scissors like this. Give him some pressure. Press in. Alright, finally we'll sew. Because it's only 6, and then we can do this in each of them. Tighten the thread on it. When you are sewing, edge pull to make this slit small for him. Tighten up. Alright, finally we're next to the stitches. It's the thread that comes out. And then we're free to pick a shot. Just you, wherever you are. Just stick the needle in. Put the needle in the handle, and then this go around in front, and then pull it out. We'll tie a knot in place. Okay, and then you put the needle in. Bring this wire over here. Disconnection. This vertical bar will hook it up, then look at it again, so a number of turns behind the bar. That's 5 laps. Here are 5 circles of a horizontal bar I've drawn. There are no broken lines here, 5 laps. Need to tape it on horizontally. So here's the end, to sew it into this round shape. Easy to remember, M up, the capital one. And F, yeah. And this A. We don't have to sew either end. I sewed this one. Don't think it looks too good when I sew it. It's a little too sharp. Then take a look. Which one else? Ah, and Y, to the last Y. You don't even need to sew it like this. Like HH, too. There are 2 vertical and then a cross in the middle. Oh, if it's like H, we don't need it, because H is double vertical. Center bar, we'll just use this wool. Just fill it up, cause it doesn't need a concave shape. Well, there's one other thing that you don't need to do, to fill in the twister. Good, I'll just leave it a little longer here. We're just gonna leave him a couple inches. The line was cut for him. Our coil is stretched after the wire is broken. Then take a look. Let's pull this thread out for him. Tie a knot here. In this case, the line is not easy to open. Okay, and then we're going to take this broken wire. Stuff him in. Take these scissors to help. Stuff him in. Just fill it up. Don't overfill it. Just the way you feel. Something special that you don't have. That one needs the main body. Going to be similar. Shape has to be similar. If it's too full, it's going to be bigger. Just fill in a little bit. As if. What about our F? We're done. And then finally, we're going to put it together. Have a look. Give it some pressure. Make this shape. Then. We take out the glue sticks. There's glue sticks in the kit for everyone. Then take out the lighter. Give him a glue stick. When it's baked, be careful when you burn it. Just a little bit of melting. Don't bake it for him. The kind that falls. It's easy to hurt your hands. Your attention. Don't put too much on it. Okay, give it a couple of seconds. Just let the hot glue dry. What about our letter? Can be made into nameplates. It's our initials. We'll hook it up when we do, when you put it together. If you want to use an analogy, that's it if you want to make a concatenation. You can do your own styling. Where is it even? They're going to make it look like this. If you want to connect it that way, you can use hot glue, just like that one. Just melt it a little bit. Put it on the front of here. Glue it on. But be careful when you apply. Very careful. Too much on. If it sticks out like this, it doesn't stick well sometimes. Gonna spill. This is something to pay attention. Well, if you don't want to stick, you can sew. If you sew, just use one color of wool. You wear it. But there's something wrong with the stitching. If you don't sew well, you can see the line. Because it's that is, use a variety of colors. Sew in 3 colors like this. Just use one face. Color it and sew it on. Let's show it to everyone. Demonstrate this step. We'll thread the needle through here. Alright, bring this wire to him here. If you want to connect it that way, then that's where we need to be. And then we're gonna wear it here. After wearing it here, we need to get down here. Okay, let's get back into this. If I can get it through, just stick it right in the bottom. But if it doesn't penetrate, you can only find a place to come out. So it's not as easy to sew as it is to stick. It's mainly about convenience. And then you have to plug it in. Because when we first put the first needle in, this line is not fixed. That's why you need to sew it twice. Our cat is a bit of a troublemaker. He's been jumping up and down there. Look, I sewed it twice. And then come back to this place. We can disconnect. This is how it works. If we use this color again to connect, in this color, you can use the pink thread, or use this blue line. Each and each. I don't need it, I just need it. So this is the method. Alright, so that's the end of this verse. I'll see you next time.